Good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing today? My name's Steve Woody, and I'm here with the incredible team from Sunflower Land, no longer Sunflower Farmers. And today we're going to do an AMA with you guys. We're going to talk within the Discord channel. If you're not there already, go over to Discord. You can see the AMA live channel. Hey, how you doing, Hart, by the way? And everybody that is joining right now, D and everybody else. We're going to jump straight into this today. I'm going to hand over to Adam, to Spencer, to Romy, and they're going to give you an update about what's been going on behind the scenes, all of the progress as we start getting ready for the beta version 2 of Sunflower Land. Guys, how you doing today?
Good morning.
Doing good, mate.
Very
It's
good.
nice to be back.
Nice. So, the big question I know is on everyone's lips, and your community is incredible at the moment. We've seen over this last few days, they are just anything relating to sharing, reacting, liking, commenting. There's not really much that I think competes with this community at the moment. I mean, there was a lot of talk before about bots are going to ruin this game, but like you can't fake this community anymore. All right, there's a movement here. I think we've established right now that the Brazilian and the Philippine community and everybody else, of course, who's here are just relentless at waiting for this version 2 game. So, Adam, how do you feel things are going behind the scenes so far? You've obviously been working hard, but is there anything you want to share with the community in terms of how's it going? How's the time frame looking with the version? Is it all on track? Is it all going well so far?
It's looking really good at the moment, and I think the big momentum driver is actually the community right now. And so we've got close to 20 open source developers contributing on this repo. If you're in the Discord, you're probably seeing the amazing artwork coming in. We've got a really solid core team here, but this community that's behind us now, they're helping us build this game. They're building the art for us, and there's just incredible momentum building up. In terms of the actual product, we've got Sunflower Land designed out. We've got a front end working. If anyone's actually poking around in the developer chat, there's already a preview out there. The game's open source, and you can constantly pop in and actually run this repo, test it out locally. Obviously, the smart contract and the token isn't live, but you can actually pop in and see that progress there. I'll give it a little demo later as well, just to see what we've been up to there.
That's one of the things you're saying there, is that if people actually want to see the beta version now, they technically can by helping contribute.
Yep.
Guys,
I want to thank everyone that is I want to thank everyone that's supporting us, the devs, the artists, and the community. We wouldn't be here if we weren't for all of them. Like the community, I love how the community is respectful with the newcomers and everyone, and we welcome everyone in. So thank you all for that.
And I think that's a really good point, Romy, because we've seen that with the artists and the dev channel, that the support when people say I'd like to help, but I'm so new to this, I've never done this before, and just watching people reach out and say, well, like, hey, look, go here, do this, and I mean, it's really showing that community aspect, that open source aspect that you guys wanting to build, coming together in a Discord before the game even goes live again. It's incredible. And Spencer,
yeah, we were just Adam and I were having a conversation this morning actually about this very thing. I think like the base of the community is also inspiring us to kind of like really build out kind of skill shares, like having tutorials on how non-developers can actually spin up the project, contribute, maybe just like, recording kind of how-tos, doing an easy kind of issue, getting people involved. It's like, I don't know, like I'm a self-taught developer. I think that there's so much opportunity for everybody to kind of just, if you're excited about something, that's the driver behind kind of learning how to take on a skill that you've never had before, and using this as a platform to kind of help other people gain skills, Skillshare. It's like, it's really endless, and it really comes from like having this enthusiastic community. So yeah, we're really going to push that in the future for sure.
I mean, that must be exciting for you guys. I mean, just to take us back, you three started this as a passion project, part-time, without really knowing what it could be, right? Like, there was no intention for this to be this superstar smash hit game that everybody loved. It was just, you were just playing with blockchain, learning and figuring things out, and then it went viral. And then, for obvious reasons, right, we won't talk about the challenges that we had with networks and things like that, but it gathered attention, and there was definitely a conversation with people where people thought that the only traffic that you guys had were bots. And I think now, just by looking at the Discord, it's fair to say that the community is very, very much alive, and not just alive, but extremely hungry for this game, and respectfully hungry for this game as well. I mean, it's not even like the noise about like, when's version 2 live? Oh my god, why is it not live yet? That there's not, we haven't got that toxicity that we tend to see when we're waiting for things after they've gone wrong or there's been a challenge. So to have this positive, and by the way, chat, if you're here and you're in Discord right now, can we get some flags? I want to see every single nation that is supporting us right now. Can we just, I want to flood this with flags, if that's possible. Let's see this. I know the chat's a little bit zoomed in at the moment. That is 100% on me, but we can see it. It is there. And we'll do some questions in a minute, and we will answer some questions. But yeah, guys, how does it feel? I mean, from your personal perspective, each of you, to have this community, like, how does it feel to log into Discord and see this every day?
It's almost breathtaking when you log in and this many people have appreciated your idea that are actually playing it. I've worked in a lot of different industries, and nothing has ever given me this sort of satisfaction. So yeah, it's very, very humbling.
It must be. You can see the flags right now. We've got the Philippines, Turkey, America. There is Morocco. I'm not forgetting you guys. India's coming in now. There's this. I haven't seen Brazil yet, funnily enough. No Brazil. Maybe Victoria the Cat's got a thing against Brazil. Oh, there we go. There's Brazil, the Philippines. Roby, how does it feel for you, my friend? Like, how do you feel now, kind of, compared to where you was maybe a month ago?
It's sort of hard to really understand, because it was so sudden, something that happened so quick, and now everyone knows my name. It's nice to get actual you're legend, DMs, mate. And say, yeah, like, Romy, thank you for this, for what you guys doing. And it's really, I love it, because it's not it's about the community, and everyone, it talks about how this community is completely different from all the other crypto communities. You know, there's so much respect, and I really love this. And yeah, it's amazing. I feel great every time I go to the Discord, and then everyone like talking about great stuff and new ideas, new artists joining us, and new devs asking questions on how to run stuff. And yeah, it's beautiful to watch. Yeah.
Nice. And Spencer, how about yourself? You're in the background. I know you're building away. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff, so you don't get to be as active in the community, but I'm assuming you're still logging in, you're still seeing it. How's that feel for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's the first thing I do when I wake up every day, actually. I also have a 2-year-old, right? So I'm kind of busy, but yeah, the first thing I do is kind of get on there and just kind of zoom through. The place I like to be the most right now is the artist chat, because it's just the most inspiring, just seeing people just constantly creating anything, ideas, like people just so excited. It's just such a collaborative environment, and I think that it's really reflective of the three of us for sure. Like, the energy that comes out of the Discord is really kind of how we all are, I think, how our personalities are. So it's really, really nice to see that cultivated community kind of that resembles who we are, which is really, really positive for me, for sure.
Nice. No, I love it. And it is, I have to say, I mean, a lot of communities, and I don't recall anything out there like this at the moment. And in a bear market, even though we may not be in a bear market, let's be honest, the crypto market's not been favorable at the moment. And whilst there is so much toxicity and negativity and fear and FUD and FOMO and all of that stuff happening in the general public of crypto, I'm just not even seeing that in our community. It is just pure positivity, and I love it. And we've been putting in a few little teasers out there, and we did a little giveaway. So congratulations to all the winners of the giveaway that we did. That was amazing. And just keeping that energy going. So in that context of keeping that energy going, why don't we, before we jump in and have a chat about kind of what's going on, Adam, do you want to share your screen and just give us a quick teaser for those that don't have the ability or the knowledge to be able to load this game up? Because I know that there's been a few little things that you've talked about. I'd just like to see from your perspective. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a live version of the beta, which is going to be version 2. Adam, talk us through it. What's going on?
Yeah, so this is a sneak peek. I'm actually running this just locally on my development machine. So the game is not live out yet. Beta testers, you can't play it, but you can pull it if you want to work on it locally, if you want to add artwork, if you want to fix some bugs, or if you want to add something cute to the farm. And so I think the first thing that we kind of want to touch on here, anyone that was playing the old version, you just had this fixed farm that we had. And right now, a lot of the artwork's getting filled out, but you'll find that the farm will be, Spencer, it might be 10 times bigger. And the idea here is that, it's going to be pretty exciting. So every time you log in, or weekly, there's going to be new things getting added to this map. And we're no longer sunflower farmers, we're becoming sunflower land. And so this map is just going to keep growing and growing. New different sections are going to start getting added. So that's something we're really excited about. The other one is there's a bit more gameplay and resource ownership coming in. And what I mean there is, instead of just harvesting, planting, and getting money for that, the crops, you can now harvest these crops and you actually get tokens. So a sunflower is an actual resource that you can own on the blockchain now. Same with all the different seeds that you can buy. These are underlying tokens. And what this does is it opens up a few more gameplay opportunities for us. Firstly, you actually get ownership of all these different things. But we're also going to release a bunch of different recipes, NFTs. For instance, the sunflower statue, if anyone had that from V1, you got pretty lucky. You didn't need to get 1,000 sunflowers.
Wow.
But now this is going to actually be a requirement for some of the game. You'll need certain types of crops for recipes, for NFTs. And so we're just doubling down on that sort of resource gathering, collecting. You're going to be, once you craft your NFT, you're going to feel like you've actually earned it. You've gone out and you've collected all these different resources. That's it as well. You notice we've got a bit of goblins.
Yeah. Let's just address the I'll say the elephant in the room, but the goblin. Let's address the goblin in the room. But by the way, chat, if you're watching this right now and you haven't had a chance to, can we get some hearts, some likes, some retweets? Let's get this out there so people can see it. I can see right now there's 233 of you watching live. Let's just show Twitter what we're like as a community right now. And if you can, just get your comments on Twitter. We will check them as well. Make sure we get those likes going, get those retweets going. But yeah, guys, what's going on with the goblins?
Yeah, so this is the new narrative of Sunflower Land. Every game needs a little bit of good and evil, and the goblins are coming in and they're stopping you from farming. They're stopping you from collecting certain resources. And so a lot of the gameplay around building up your farm and exploring is trying to deal with the goblins. And so in this case here, you won't actually be able to farm. It's goblin land. And so you'll have to go out into Sunflower Lands, collect certain resources, craft NFTs, and do other things that will please these goblins. And so it's one of those things that we're quite passionate about. We didn't go dark and pause the game for 5-6 weeks just to get some anti-botting mechanisms in there. We've learned so much from the community around gameplay, tokenomics, ownership, and we actually want to improve not just that botting situation, but the game as a whole. We want this to be something that's super enjoyable for the years to come. And so the goblins bring a nice little twist in there. The one bad thing is that everyone thinks they're super cute, and all the artists and developers actually want to be on the goblin side instead of the human side. So we might have to explore a bit of a path gameplay situation in the future where you can choose which side you want.
Isn't that the trick though? Isn't that the false sense of security? You know, they're like critters, right? They look nice.
Yeah.
Like gremlins, they look nice, but deep down you don't want to get on their bad side. They're going to mess your farm up.
Until they start stealing your tokens.
That's not to say they're going to steal your tokens, ladies and gentlemen. Let's wait and see for that. But there will be some mischief, I'm sure. What if you log in one day and all of a sudden all your crops have gone and your house is green and oh, who knows? Maybe they'll be like I don't know. Maybe they'll be like poo, you know, or been thrown all over your farm, and you've got to clear it up before you can plant seeds. We'll talk about that in a bit. I'm sure there's a lot of things. One thing I do want to ask right now, Romy, I'm quite interested. How's the soundtrack looking to this? Are we still looking at new audio? We're going to have that incredible soundtrack from the first game again. Are we going to have an expansion on that with the beta, or is it going to be a bit longer for that to come out? How's the audio looking?
Yeah, we're going to keep the same audio track, the first one, and then I'm going to add some more into that. We're still thinking of a way of doing some sort of like a radio that people can choose and select, and maybe even pay a small subscription to choose the tracks they want to hear, like, and then the artists can get rewarded to, you know, launch songs into the game as well.
Nice.
So we're still thinking about it, but I'm gonna add some more tracks on it. So on the beta, people can listen to new tracks. Yeah.
Okay, that's nice. So the possibility of having like a subscription radio, if they want to subscribe, and that could benefit the developer, the artists directly, and the option of you obviously to build your own tracks out as well. I'm loving that. Yeah. I do want to touch on something, Spencer, just quickly on this. Now, look, we talked about it before. We know we had this challenge before. The artist that created the original pack, the Sunnyside, I know we reached out. We tried to have a conversation. To my knowledge, Adam, has he reached out to you? Have you had a dialogue with that designer of the original asset pack?
I've tried. I had one response, but I couldn't get any.
But nothing from there. And I did the same. I tried to reach out. I definitely interacted on the comment. He seems to react better on comments than to direct messages. I found that. But I know that, Spencer, I know you really wanted to work with this guy, and you were really excited to work with him. The fact that we're not in a position where we're able to do that for whatever reason, how does that now look moving forward? How does the new game look in terms of, he had his wishes that he made public about not wanting or allowing NFTs to be sold. So are you all right just to talk me through what that looks like from a design perspective? To obviously honor his request, but obviously still move forward as well.
Yeah, I mean, we considered, like, when we first shut things down, we considered going in a completely different direction, trying to source, a complete new asset pack. But at the end of the day, we actually really, really, really like this guy's designs. We like Sunnyside World assets, so we decided to kind of stick with it and continue trying to pursue contact with the designer to try to build a relationship. Unfortunately, that hasn't panned out, but we still have a license to use this. We never really were selling his art as NFTs in an art sense. They really were just imagery that was representative of kind of functionality that someone had in the game.
Yes.
So moving forward, none of his assets will be representative of any NFTs. We have an incredibly talented team community here. We really don't have a need for it. I think that we're kind of attached to the vibe of the game. So we've kind of kept it in the similar vein, but people are just kind of designing stuff. We're getting some design guidelines sorted out, so that people kind of have the color palette, etc., everything to run free with it from there. So I think that we're sticking with the base assets, and then we'll just grow via our community after that.
Which, by the way, is something I've seen right now. There are members of the community developing seasons. So I've got to ask, is that something we're likely to see? I mean, I've seen a Winterland, I've seen an Autumn Land, I've seen the Sunflower
definitely.
Land. I mean, there are so many versions now of this game. Are they things we're likely to see in the future?
100%. I mean, our game board is now, it's going to be infinite. It's like the idea is that it will just keep growing. There'll be places you'll discover that you never knew were there. That's the kind of idea, is that it just, as people create stuff, it's like, how can we incorporate this into the game? I feel like it's never ending. Is
that like seasonal? So like, for example, in Easter, are we likely to be able to plant Easter eggs and things like that?
Why not?
Wow.
Yeah.
Anything's possible.
I think it's awesome. Anything's possible. I think, it's a world, right? So like maybe somewhere it's winter and somewhere it's summer. I don't know. Like,
nice.
It's like there's so many things, man. There's so many things.
I love it. And we've seen some incredible things so far from the community. We really have. There's one designer I really, really do, and I mean there's a lot of incredible designers, there really is. But there's one that I do want to mention because he has relentlessly been updating so many assets. And I don't know if you want to shout him out, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Have you had a chance to be able to talk to these designers? Are you in like one-on-one dialogue, or is it purely just what goes on within the community?
We do try to keep everything in the community channels, and so if a developer reaches out or artist reaches out, I'm always like, oh, let's continue this so other people can contribute. But this designer and other designers, there are DM chats going on because the work that they're doing is just absolutely incredible. Like I can't give them enough thanks for what they're doing.
And I'm just scrolling through, so the guys, you can see this right now on the Twitter stream. You can see what I'm scrolling through right now. This is just a snapshot of some of these incredible arts that are coming through. And I want to make sure I pronounce his name right. Is it Sign it?
Good job, Steve.
How do you pronounce it?
I don't know. We'll leave it up to Adam.
I don't know.
I think it's Sunit. He's actually Brazilian.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He uses a translator to work with the team and the rest of the community, and it's like regardless of these barriers, we're able to come together and just collaborate on this game. And so we'll need someone in the Portuguese community to translate this AMA and let him know that we're shouting him out right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I have just seen artwork after artwork after artwork. It is like relentless. He's just like, if you need it, I'm going to create it, and even if you don't need it, I'm going to make it anyway. And it's just such a great example of somebody who is putting in the effort right now and helping build when we're in a downtime, that he will be so well rewarded once this all goes live. I mean, we got to think about this community aspect, right? That the assets that are being built and launched in game, if these NFTs get sold on the secondary marketplace, there's going to be a community element of that, right? So there'll be a reward for the artists.
And as a side note, he started working with pixel art 2 weeks ago.
He started working with pixel art 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. All right. That's
that
a
means
talented guy right there.
Anyone can join us and learn while learn by doing and talking to other artists and learning how they do it, and anyone can join us from any level, skill level. Yeah.
I agree with that, and I think I want to just give a personal shout out to Adam for this, because I don't really talk a lot about my daughter publicly, and I definitely don't talk about her on streams, but she is so excited about this game. I am just, oh God, it's daddy, he's talking about crypto again. Like, I'm not a cool dad in her eyes. It's just, even though I've got like this gaming rig and I play games and I'm like, I try and be like super cool dad, I'm still dad, so I'm not cool dad. She actually loves this game so much that she's like, Dad, could you do this in the game? Could you do that in the game? And I'm like, well, why don't you try and do this? Now, my daughter's 13 years old, and over the weekend, she's been sitting there making designs. She sent a couple through to like look at ideas of the game, and she's actually come up with what I think are some pretty cool like gameplay mechanics, which I'm not going to share now, but it shows you that absolutely anybody can get involved in this game, right? If my 13-year-old daughter, who doesn't know how to design or code or do anything, can input into this game, then absolutely anybody can. And if language is a barrier, then you can use translators. If your knowledge isn't up to speed, then we've got these docs that are available. And Adam, I don't know if you want to spend a minute and just sort of talk through. I know you stopped sharing your screen, but if you wanted to, I don't know if you can share it again. Do you want to talk about the docs? Because I mentioned this last night, and if you were on the ball, you would have gone and checked this out. But for those of you that don't remember, I said, before you play the game, what's the first thing you must do? And I left it there. I didn't say anything. Guys, you've got to check out the docs, right? You need to read the white paper. You need to read the docs. Adams and the team have updated these last night. It went live. So how does this look now in terms of moving forward for you guys, this new kind of direction?
Yeah, the cat's out of the bag. So it is a draft version right now. So if you go to docs.sunflower-land.com, you'll find the new docs. The old ones were at Sunflower Farmers. The essence is quite similar to the last one. We do have a few new gameplay aspects which we describe. And this one here, the farm NFT, I think this is a pretty big one to wrap your head around. We believe really resource ownership and owning everything in the game is part of what drives people to Sunflower Land. And if you do want to transfer your farm, your entire world, you can now do this as well. So when you do get started and you create a farm, we actually mint an NFT for your farm, and you get a unique address on the blockchain for your farm. So we're doing a little bit of magic behind the scenes in Solidity there. And what this means is when you do collect tokens, when you do collect NFTs, those are actually getting allocated on your farm's NFT. And so if you do send that to another one of your accounts, if you do want to list that on a secondary market, you can do that. You can build up this awesome farm and then pass it on or sell it to somebody else. And so that's something we're really excited about. For V1, you will be able to create one farm NFT per account. The blockchain does support more. It's just the actual gameplay and UI is just going to support one at the start. And then in the future, you'll be able to open up the game, see all these cool farm NFTs you have, and dive into it, whichever one that you want. It's very similar to when you have saved progress on a game. You can jump into version A, version B, version C.
Wow.
And so that's kind of what we want to explore a lot more ownership that you have over all these items, the world's included.
Nice. I like that a lot. So is it possible then, and we haven't talked about this, so feel free to not answer if you can't, but is it possible then that you could, or I could, build up my farm, I could invest in my farm to get it to the maximum level, and then maybe like lease or rent it out to people to be able to play?
Yeah, the sky's the limit. It's sort of the composable nature of smart contracts and blockchain. You can just keep building this sort of functionality on top. And so even if the community is super hungry and they want this feature to rent out NFTs, nothing's stopping another developer and designers getting together and building out a renting system before we even do it. And I think that's what you got to wrap your head around. It's once this game launches and people can just start adding to the game, they can start building features on whatever's already out there. And so that's a really exciting thing, where the momentum just gets exponential and just skyrockets.
Nice. I love that. I'm seeing in the chat, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of love for you in the chat, Romy. There's a lot of people saying, why is Romy not talking? And can he speak, please? He's the only one without glasses. I feel like he should be talking more.
Yeah. Thanks for all the love. Yeah. I'm not a person that talks too much, to be honest, but yeah, here sometimes I need to talk more. And yeah, thanks for all the community love here. Thank you, guys.
I'm just wondering, I mean, if it's possible, there's something that I'm really missing at the moment, Romy, and I don't know if it can be done. Can we get a copy of the soundtrack? I feel like I need it on the background as I work. I feel like without the farm being live, I've really missed that sound.
Maybe I can just chuck on the chat or whatever somewhere.
Maybe we can upload it to YouTube channel.
And people need to find it. People need to find in which chat it's going to.
Oh, maybe that's a good idea. And then you can like delete it and post it somewhere else and just keep people like looking around the Discord, right? No, I love this, and this is just the love for you has been incredible. I mean, when I first come into this community and I spoke to you, you're just this beautiful soul, this beautiful person who is just so welcoming, and you just get on with stuff and get things done, and you maybe don't say much, but your actions, they speak louder than any word, and I'm just I'm so blessed to have met you personally as well as through this project. It's been incredible. And I do, for each and every one of you, I've got so much love for you guys. This project is something I'm so excited for as we get into this launch. So I think we can wrap up soon. We don't need to do a super long chat today. It's more to be able to show the community what's happening. A couple of questions I do have just before we wrap up. How are we looking on time so far? I mean, I know you can't give anything definite, but if I was to say, as a ballpark moving forward, are we 4, 8, 12 weeks before we start to see something? I'm not going to hold you to it, but just for some just real loose expectations. What can the community expect in terms of, and by the way, community, if you see on the left-hand side, it says roadmap. And I don't know if you want to, Adam, click on that just to show people, but there is actually a tentative roadmap, which might change. But how's this looking so far?
I think the really big point, firstly, is we're going to take a very similar approach to sunflower farmers. We're not a game studio that goes dark for a year and then pops up and here's some work, where we like to get the bare minimum live, get people playing that instantly, and then start building these features on top of each other. And so in about 4 or 5 weeks, we're looking to do that beta launch. And the idea there is that people start coming in and they'll be working on their farms, testing out our anti-botting mechanisms, collecting all the resources. And this will be saving in that off-chain solution. And then when we do go live for launch in April, all those resources that you've collected in beta, they're going to get transferred across onto the blockchain. And we're still looking on point for these release dates. You'll see April, we'll be releasing that core farming mechanic, the NFTs going live as well. And then as soon as that's live, all the other ones are coming out, the chickens, the eggs, the wood, the stone. So they're all coming. We're just trying to release what we can early, get the feedback on that. And after that, it gets really exciting. So we're going to start opening up some more proposals. This one I'm super excited about. I think it's Big Kong on Discord has been designing some bees, some honey. And so we'll start getting some proposals up as well. And you'll start seeing a lot of different features and ideas coming up here. We're not locking in a 1-year roadmap. I think the community has so many good ideas weekly or daily, and we just got to be flexible enough to change the direction or add these features in the future.
And this is a point I just wanted to bring up, and I've got I can see the questions. I will answer these guys. When did this game go down? Can we remember? I mean, it feels like a year ago. Was it 1 or 2 weeks ago now?
2 weeks.
It was
2 weeks ago now.
2 weeks ago. It
That's
feels
crazy.
like forever. I miss my farm so much. Like, I can't tell you how much I miss my farm. I didn't think it was going to affect me as much as it has, but I've got serious withdrawal symptoms from planting. So okay, so 2 weeks ago, and you're saying 4 to 5 weeks until we're going to see a beta version of the game that people are going to be able to play, where they can start to gather resources, and they won't be able to turn them into NFTs just yet. But when that feature goes live, all of their progress will have been saved, and they can upload that to the blockchain. So you can start to build your farm up ready for when we go live again. And anybody that had a farm previously, would they be able to load that in, or would they have to wait for the blockchain version to be able to bring that back across? How's that going to work? If somebody logs into the farm, and let's just say the beta's live, will they be on a brand new farm, or will they be on their old farm to start with?
They'll be on their old farm to start with.
Wow.
So you won't lose your eggs, your chickens, any of the gold you've collected, and the tokens, of course.
It's all going to be there. Amazing. Guys, any other comments or points that you want to make? There are a couple of questions. I would just like to reel them off if possible, but any closing remarks that you guys want to kind of share with the community before we end this session?
Someone on the chat asked to Adam to say something in Portuguese. They asked me to teach you some Portuguese, but what they don't know is you speak Portuguese.
Don't give it away. We could just say you're a really good teacher right now. You could
just say hi to the community, to the Brazilian community, mate.
E aí, galera, muito obrigado por jogando esse jogo, tá aprendendo português. E agora, na verdade, estou morando no Brasil.
Yeah. So he said he now is living in Brazil for a bit.
Nice. Romy, I think we need some Portuguese from yourself as well there, my friend.
Yeah. Obrigado, comunidade brasileira. Obrigado pelo apoio de todos vocês. Tamo junto. Yeah. Thank you all.
Much better than mine.
See,
I mean, your
English
is a lot better than mine.
And Spencer, your Portuguese, how's that looking?
Yeah, it's top notch, mate.
Yeah, mate, yeah.
Next round, I'm right in there.
We're still practicing.
On
the next AMA, he'll give away his skills, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so there are some questions, just a couple that I've seen. The obvious one, people are saying, if this game's not going to be on the blockchain to start with, does that mean we're not going to have any gas fees? Are people going to still have to save their game? If they do, are they going to have to pay the gas fee? Is there going to be that 25-minute reoccurring ticker? How's that going to work in this new version?
I'll jump on that one. So gas fees is the big issue. Anyone who's been watching Polygon recently as well, it can just skyrocket all of a sudden. And so we don't want to lock people into, you've got to save right now, because that might be a really bad user experience. Like gas fees might be extremely high and you don't want to save. And so right now, when you're playing the game, you save the in-progress data off-chain. And when the time is right for you, you actually bring that data back on-chain. And so you're not going to be locked into when gas fees are high. And you'll also notice when you do save your farm, we're actually going to optimize the smart contracts a lot more. And so even when it was 0.02 Matic to save your farm before, it's going to be significantly less when gas prices are the normal price. So that's something we're pretty excited about. We believe it's up to the users. When you want to save, you can. Right now, that's just on Polygon. And in the future, that idea will go further. You save when you want to, into whatever blockchain you trust the most. If you believe in decentralization, low gas prices, it's not really up to us to dictate where you should be saving your data.
Wow, that's massive news. So we're talking about a potential of, you've just dropped a bombshell there of cross-chain and people being able to choose whatever network they want. So if there's high gas fees on Matic one day, maybe you can save it somewhere else. Wow. I mean, you
I think
really
that's
are.
where that's true decentralization.
Yeah.
If you lock someone into just one blockchain, you're dictating how they should be playing this game.
Wow. That I'm gonna need a moment to just like decompress from that one, because that's just you're that you've got this saying, Adam, which has become really infectious in my life, and it's like whenever we have a conversation or we talk about something, and anyone that's had an interaction with Adam, you'll have seen this. His two favorite words are just too easy. Oh, Adam, could you just split this atom? Yeah, too easy. Could you just like solve world hunger? Yeah, too easy. It's like there's no problem that Adam can't fix, and it's not even a difficult problem. Everything is too easy, and I love
Classic
that because
Australian.
it's not an arrogance; it's a confidence that is really infectious, and just you're like, yeah, we'll do this, we'll do that. Yeah, this is you've got this incredible vision, and nothing is going to stand in your way to make it live. And I think that's why I'm so excited and bullish about Sunflower Lands going live, and why I'm excited to be involved.
Likewise, it's a pleasure working with you.
Yeah, I can see another question. Someone's saying, I didn't connect my coins to my wallet. Guys, it doesn't matter if you connected your coins to the game or not. They're in your wallet. So if you're saying you didn't connect your wallet to the game, it's the interface in the game was just a representation of what was in your wallet. So if it was in your wallet, it's on the blockchain. You don't need to worry about logging into the game. If you had the funds before the snapshot or around that window, they'll be safe. And if you sold them, then that's one of those things that happens. We understand. As long as you have those assets in your wallet when the game goes live, you'll be able to exchange them as long as they were there between those two snapshot windows. But we'll talk about more than that in Discord if you need to talk about it. So one more question I can see here, and we'll end this because I know you guys are busy and you've got stuff to get on with. The higher level crops in the future, we know in version 1, we saw there was a real demand for potato farmers. Is that going to be something in the future where are you going to be balancing? If something shows up and it deems to be more profitable than something else, are you going to just let that run? Are you going to have an effect on that? Like, you talk about decentralization, but how is it going to work in terms of gameplay mechanics when you get data and you start to see patterns forming? How will you deal with that?
Yeah, I think you can't design a game that's going to be played for years to come and get it perfect the first time. And so if we do need to tweak something in the future, we're not doing this closed doors. Like, we know we have this dream of a DAO and whatnot in the future, but right now it'll just be community consensus. So if something does need to change in the tokenomics, it'll be a GitHub issue, the community votes on it. And that also includes if you have a proposal to improve tokenomics, jump on GitHub, jump on Discord, start the discussion.
Yeah. And one of the discussions I've seen on there is, what are we going to do about these goblins? Like, that's something we're going to have to start talking about now, right? Goblins are real, and yeah, we're gonna have to have a conversation around that, I think, in the Discord. But for now, guys, I think you've been incredible. Thank you so much for showing up and sharing. I wasn't expecting to see like a live a gameplay of you sharing that on screen. So be able to see that progress and what's happening. Guys, it's like a month community. We've got like 4 weeks to wait, and then we can start playing. Okay, that's not long. That's not long at all. When you consider what these guys are doing, rebuilding the game from scratch, fixing all of the bugs, dealing with all of the problems, and on top of that, adding in all of these new features as well. Can we give some love in the chat for Adam, for Romy, for Spencer, for everybody, all of the contributors, the moderators, the ambassadors, every single one of you who is showing up right now on Twitter as well as in Discord. The community as a whole. Can we just send some love, give some hearts in the chat? And guys, when can we do this again? When would you like to chat? Can we do a couple of weeks? Is that too soon?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Too easy.
Too easy.
Too easy.
Too easy, yeah.
Guys, let's do this. Let's go for 2 weeks' time and do another one of these sessions. How's that sound?
Yep.
Sounds good.
All right, then from me to you, Romy. Do you want to play us out? Do you want to play us out? I feel like we need an outro
Get on
song.
the tools, Romy. Get on the tools, mate.
No, come on, mate. Not okay. Next AMA, I'll play something.
Next time, mate, we'll play something. I thought you might have had a sound clip lined up, but I probably should have preempted that with you.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Then maybe we can look at getting that sound clip in the Discord. But apart from that, guys, thank you so much for everything you're doing. I can't wait to jump back into
Steve.
something.
Thanks for hosting this chat.
Thanks so much, everybody.
Really happy to be here.
Yeah. It's incredible. Honestly, I'm involved in a lot of communities, and there's nothing like this out there. I'm absolutely buzzing for what you guys are doing.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome.
I'll speak to you in a couple of
Have
weeks.
a good night, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
All right.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
See you guys.